Greetings, Dr. Dalton. This is Jesse McCoy here, and I'll be doing my follow up brief or overview, if you will, of the weekly session for therapeutic approaches. And so, you ask or propose several questions, ask why, share what for our particular assignment. So, and I'll be going over those or covering those as I go through my responses. So the first one was to discuss one of the therapeutic approaches that you found interesting, perhaps for your own adaptation in your practice. So the rational emotive behavioral therapy, REBT, is the therapeutic approach I found most interesting to adapt in my practice. The REBT is an active direct form of counseling and psychotherapy in which the practitioners employs cognitive, behavioral, and emotive or effective type techniques in order to help clients achieve and maintain constructive change. I found out this change occurs through an educational counseling process aimed at helping the clients to understand the following. All right, so I pull this information straight from the book. A. That they largely create their own psychological disturbances and problems. That they do this by maintaining irrational beliefs. And C. They can learn to address to overcome their problems by learning to detect, questions, challenge, and reject irrational beliefs as illogical and unconstructive for developing rational beliefs that are true, sensible, and constructive. That's straight from our text. So the key factor for me for REBT is people who hold rational beliefs and expectation experience positive feelings of satisfaction when they get what they want, and they experience healthy negative feelings such as disappointment, sadness, healthy anger, or regret when they do not get what they want. These healthy negative feelings may serve as to motivate continued efforts towards eventually obtaining one's goals or desires, displaying and providing encouragement, empowerment, and hope while moving towards change and a positive outcome for the client. You pose the next question. Share what you draw from this approach. Well, I like the REBT because it helps clients to acquire a more realistic, rational, and tolerant philosophy of life. It's like reducing irrational thoughts in exchange for the change value system. It includes the counselor's full and unconditional acceptance of the client, valuing the client for themselves, listening, most important, listening to the client's worldview without judging, reinforcing reality without judging the client, helping the client to give up absolutist expectations about the world, and helping the client to accept changes, learn new skills, and engage in new interests. Something similar to me. You pose the next question. Why would you believe it will be a good match for you? Well, glad you asked. I believe that I have become a rational person. This was not the case for me years ago when I was in the frame of mind like it's my way or the highway. I was only like this on the outside of my immediate family members because of the trust factor. So I had to learn to trust people, or what I would have been eventually became burnt out or stressed out. So now I think about reason and logic that may create change in my thinking and process matters. So you pose the next question: how you might adopt this approach to fit with other approaches, techniques in your own personalized approach. Well, glad you asked. My own personalized approach. So I will borrow, and we say borrow, use what I like or what is needed from other therapeutic approaches and kind of blend it with mine. But again, the REBT approach, if that's not the approach for the client, then certainly I would have to use a different approach. I think one danger about my therapeutic approach is the skin thickness of the client to change. I can predict, conversations requiring thick skin, even me, thick skin, with the REBT approach. But tactfulness would be one of the utmost skills or techniques, if you will, when you're addressing issues directly and being rational. You pose the next question. Discuss one other therapeutic approaches that you feel would not be a good match for you. Well, glad you asked that too. The trait factor therapeutic approach would not be a good match for me. Why? Why? Concerning the hiring practice. The trait factor counseling process concept is about matching people and the work environment. It has no regards to what the client wants in reference to the environment where they want to work. The trait factor has hints of discrimination, whereas it favors those with disability over those without disabilities for employment. It's kind of reversing the change as what we've been used to doing, but if we're trying to make hiring practice fair across the board, then it needs to be fair across the board, whether it's vice versa or whatever the case may be. Why not declare upfront, for instance, say in the public, that a business have a movement to hire a certain percentage, if you will, to say veterans. We have a new business opening up, and we're going to hire a certain percentage of veterans. Why not say that up front? Just declare it. And so to make the more the environment more diverse within the organization. That would be one way of clearing up the trait factor counseling process. Make it fair up front. Then you pose the next question. Share why you believe it would not be a good match for you. So I believe in fair hiring practice. The best person for the job and not the environment. However, I do understand diversity and what it does for business, the customer, fellow employees, as well as the community. Diversity is key to an environment. We are sharing off each other's culture, learning, backgrounds, instead of one way or the highway. Then you ask, what, if anything, about it is off-putting to you? Well, the trait factor is easy to recognize how two positions in the same organization, but if you go to another organization, those positions to be different. Probably paid differently as well, which may differ in the ways of influence, as it is perceived, and those differences are not recognized in the occupational coding system. So to me, this would not be fair to the employee because the duty is not written fully in the job description, making the employee work is at the needs of the organization. So employee needs or the employee services performed is not written, but to the needs of the organization. Something similar to like the military does. We hire you, we give you the overall job, but we're not going to tell you every detailed aspect what you can be doing on the job. Then you pose the next question. Are any aspects or techniques associated with this approach that you might be able to utilize in your work? Well, of course. Absolutely. I like all the therapeutic approaches. I like them all. You may have to, use a particular area in one approach and apply it while you use another approach. So of course, we can use different aspects of our therapy approaches. So I like the personnel or the person and the environment fit approach. Moves beyond the assumption of congruence to include the notion of a more dynamic reciprocal. That is, P times E, personnel and environment, is a reciprocal process which individuals shaping the environment and the environment influencing individual that causes engagement, trust, and loyalty. I like that. That's all right. It also offers a teaching approach that is well suited for clients who are motivated and willing but may lack skills or understanding or ability or confidence to affect change. And that is according to our text. Through the ecological personnel times environment rehabilitation counseling, person with disabilities can be empowered to maximize the quality of their interpersonal and vocational life activities. This approach offers diverse and the opportunity to put folks who want to learn and work without being a victim of discrimination. This concludes my overview. Dr. Dalton, I want to thank you for this opportunity. You have a great day.